イアクロンよりダッシャー F1 スカイドリル出動。君の手の中でロボットが戦闘機にスピードダッシュ。ダッシャーシリーズダイアクロン。
The year is 1980, and before Hasbro and Takara takes over, Diaclone came up with the Cosmo roller. Taking a closer look at the Cosmo roller, it's a very, very interesting looking vehicle. It's very armored and it's just completely awesome. This thing actually has rubber treads, which is very, very, very difficult to find one that actually has one intact. I happen to have gotten lucky and got one that has both rubber treads that are not cracking. This thing, to be as old as it is, very awesome. It surpasses most of the toy standards nowadays, and it's just completely cool. It's got a lot of die cast in it, and it's very heavy. It's not a light toy at all. The only thing about my Cosmo roller is I don't have the actual real antenna, so I just plugged a transformer weapon into the 5mm peg hole, which works fairly well. It's slightly loose, but it does work to kind of fill it in. It's supposed to have had an antenna that sticks up about this tall. It's got a little radar dish on it and such, and it folds over to the side for the gimmick that this thing actually has. Speaking of the gimmick, let's get on to that. Removing the weapon off the side here so that way it doesn't fly across the room, you simply press this button. And the Cosmo roller turns into a mobile command center. It's very awesome. It's got a lot of molded detail in this thing. This thing is just completely cool. Oh, and it does have one extra little gimmick. As for the little car here on the front, this little thing, by pressing the button on the top, fires this very little successful little scouting vehicle. They do hold Diaclone drivers very well, and these do have die-cast wheels. This thing will fly clear across the room. I have filmed this thing a couple times, and this thing literally ended up across the room. This spring that's in this toy is very strong, so it's very cool that this thing can actually fly that far. The die-cast metal in this, I know, assists with the weight of it being flown as far as it does, but it's very awesome. Let's take a closer look at the inside of this thing. This thing is just extremely cool. It's got a lot going on in here. The decals that this has are very, very nice and shiny. They're very foil. Very sweet. Happens to have a nice little Diaclone sticker right here. And it's very shiny. Nice molded detail all the way throughout the entire thing, along with the chromey stickers. It does have one command center here for a Diaclone driver, one here for the command driver, one here for the rear artillery gun that does actually move, and Has one here for your communications radar. Now, as for the detailed instrument, very interesting, very cool. Just happen to have another computer readout right here, and another nice foil decking stickers. As for the rear, that does say Cosmo roller on the back, and says this here with a nice little emblem, which is very cool. I do love how retro that is. It does have a nice viewing window here for the viewer driver here to sit, and a nice little sticker decal here. A lot of molded detail on this thing, and these are nice little clear windows. Although they have a little bit of a tint to them because they are blue. It's very interesting. This thing, by far, I think is one of the coolest things that's ever come out in toy engineering. Along with the auto transforming gimmick, just by pushing that simple little switch on the top. Also, when you press the button here on the front, when the entire transforming gimmick happens, it has two missiles that will fire out of these two holes. Sadly, I do not have them. Along with the firing missile gimmick here on the back. Sadly, I do not have any missiles to fire out of this thing, but it's pretty cool. As cool as this Diaclone gimmick is, and as awesome as this toy tends to be, it's got a lot of cool molded detail throughout the entire thing. It surpasses most of your toy standards, and it really does have a lot of heft. Although this thing is very pricey in the aftermarket and very difficult to come across, especially in the condition that this one's in, I highly suggest you guys search one out. Unfortunately, I didn't have the firing missiles for the front of it or for the rear, but still, it's very cool. It does come with a couple little power packs that say Diaclone on them with little stickers, but it's very difficult to find any of these bits. Most of the time you're going to find one mint in box that will have all those. But I highly suggest you guys check this stuff out. You guys stay tuned. I will end up having some more Diaclone stuff coming to you guys. And this is me, signing off. Peace out, you guys.